Good Wednesday evening. Thanks for joining us for Unscripted. We are at that midway point in the week now on Wednesday as we're bringing in our chief meteorologist, Joe Charlevoix. Joe, we took a look around earlier today and it looked pretty nice outside. And now it's dark. How will the rest of our night look?
Yeah, partly cloudy. In fact, stars are out here, but some spots still tonight seeing a little bit of lake effect rain and snow, Cody. Most of that north, so the UP Straits in particular, but even there, it's not going to be a whole lot. So just enough to mention. We'll throw that out there. And we still think kind of a cool weekend coming up. I know we're a couple days away from that still, but it looks, especially Sunday into Monday, cold, and perhaps with that, chance for a little bit of snow. So, I mean, I guess no surprise now, right? It's time of the year.
Yeah.
So we'll take a look at that and a lot more coming up a little later.
Sounds good, Joe. Looking forward to that. For our top story tonight, an Antrim County Township Board recently voted to get rid of zoning. Banks Township residents have been reaching out to us since then, wanting us to look into why that proposal was made. Our Allie Baxter dug into it and breaks it down for us.
So my motion is to repeal zoning.
Julie Waterman is no stranger to having to change things up because of zoning.
I don't think zoning is perfect. I've had my own issues with zoning.
But as a former Banks Township Planning Commissioner, she respects the zoning process that keeps her community protected from things they may not want.
Say you don't want to have adult entertainment next to a daycare. That is covered in zoning.
But in September at a Banks Township Board meeting, Trustee Richard Frisky made a motion to get rid of zoning, supported by Trustee Marvin Rubing and Clerk Julie Chellis.
21 years on this board, I've never seen anything like this. No factual evidence. All of a sudden, it's like, oh my goodness, we have to take this to the people. We shouldn't. Oh no, zoning. Everyone's fighting. This is like a fabricated crisis.
At that meeting and in others since, accusations have been made that eliminating zoning would benefit Trustee Rubing. According to meeting minutes going back to 2017, Rubing wants to operate a gravel pit. His permit application over the last decade was either incomplete or he withdrew it.
The regulations for sand and gravel operations are on a local level. They are not on a state level or a national level. Those are our only protections.
I reached out to Frisky and Rubing to ask why they voted yes to repeal zoning and what is your response to speculation it's to clear the way for a gravel pit. Neither of them responded, so I went back and watched video from the township's meeting when the repeal was made.
I know that if we're sitting here to serve the people, that's what I know, right? I know that we're not here for ourselves. We're not supposed to be here for ourselves. So right now, you have one group that says they don't want it and one group that says they do want it. So how do you serve the people?
I think the vote is the perfect way.
But the township's legal counsel later told trustees getting rid of zoning isn't an issue that can be placed on an election ballot.
And it's a balancing act, but it has been effective.
There are other townships in Michigan and in Antrim County that don't have any zoning rules. But Julie emphasized the greatest protection zoning gives Banks Township is environmental.
What happens in Banks Township affects the communities up and down the chain of lakes.
So whatever's in the water here will flow down here, which is why in the past, planning commissioners were hesitant to approve a gravel pit so close to the lake.
I'll just say this right out, that if zoning is repealed, I will pledge to work harder than anyone to make sure evil doesn't come into our community. We don't need marijuana. We don't need adult entertainment and others.
Thanks to our Allie Baxter for that story. What happens now is a public hearing held by the township's planning commission. They'll make a recommendation based on feedback from residents. That public hearing is scheduled for November 18th at 6 p.m. at Banks Township Hall. An insurance company in Traverse City is adopting a new approach to the work environment for its employees. Hagerty is evolving from the remote-first work-from-home model that was adopted during COVID-19 to a work-forward hybrid approach. About 500 one-team Hagerty members who live in the Grand Traverse region will work from the main Hagerty campus in downtown Traverse City 3 days a week. Work Forward is a blueprint for connecting and cross-collaborating employees. Hagerty's Chief Human Resources and Chief Administrative Officer Colette Champagne released a statement on the new approach, saying in part, quote, "Remote work remains a vital part of how we operate, but in our most recent internal survey, one clear theme emerged. Relationships matter, and meeting in person a few times a year wasn't enough. When we're connected, we work faster, simpler, and more integrated." Hagerty will implement the hybrid approach beginning late in the first quarter of 2026. And that story takes us to our question of the day, which is, does your job allow you to work from home. Of course, there's plenty of time to make your voice heard. You can go to our Facebook page or you can go to our website, UpNorthLive.com, to vote. You can also take out your phone right now and scan that QR code on your screen to vote. And of course, as always, we'll take another look at this and the results later on in the show. In Cadillac, a plan to turn one of the area's most historic homes into a bed and breakfast is getting strong community attention. While many residents support the idea, questions about rezoning have sent that idea back to the drawing board. The Frank J. Cobb's house, one of Cadillac's oldest and most recognizable homes, could soon become a bed and breakfast. The project drew praise from residents who want to see the home restored, but some worried a zoning change could lead to more development in the area. City leaders voted down the original rezoning request. However, we're told the owners plan to return with a conditional rezoning proposal, one that allows a project to move forward with specific restrictions to protect the area's character.
A conditional rezoning is voluntarily putting conditions on what their restriction or what the zoning is going to be. It's going to be working with us and with them to set up limitations or requirements for that property. I'm glad that we actually have learned from going to this meeting and that this is the avenue that we're going to take, because then also you can put some binding agreements on that.
City staff say the new plan could be reviewed in the coming months. If approved, it would be the first project of its kind under Cadillac's updated zoning rewrite. Continuing to follow election results around northern Michigan and Osceola County, for the second time this year, Reed City voters have rejected a multi-million-dollar bond proposal aimed at improving school facilities. District leaders say the needs remain, and they're already looking at what comes next. Reed City's $75.5 million bond proposal failed at the polls yesterday, a scaled-down version of the $88 million that voters turned down in May. The proposal would have funded updates to aging buildings, with parts of the elementary school now 70 years old and the high school older than 60. The money would also be used to improve safety, heating systems, roofs, and classroom spaces. Superintendent Mike Sweet says while the district reduced costs and removed some extras, many voters felt now wasn't the right time.
The signs that the no voters have out are it's not the right time, it's not the right amount. So I do think there is some uncertainty economically, so I think that contributes some. I try to look at that as it's letting people know the needs haven't gone away. It's trying to continue to engage them in the conversation, because I also think that if we hadn't done something, the district really didn't need it in the first place.
Sweet says the board will likely try again, possibly next year, after more community outreach and feedback. In the meantime, the district will rely on limited maintenance funds to address urgent repairs. A new report reveals more than 158,000 clean energy-related jobs have been cut or put on pause since last November. The data from Climate Power reveals Michigan is among the states hardest hit by job loss and ranks 6th in the nation when it comes to the most jobs lost. Courtney Bennett has that story.
I think Michigan is being hit the hardest right now.
The impact is being felt in the clean energy sector. Car companies are seeing a drop in demand.
The American auto industry, frankly, is in limbo, whether they're going to be able to continue to be competitive in the global market and even here at home.
Under the Trump administration's One Big Beautiful Bill, it eliminated the $7,500 tax credit for buying or leasing electric vehicles. As Jesse Lee, a senior advisor at Climate Power, explains, this is a setback when it comes to production.
If this doesn't get kind of turned around, by Congress before Trump leaves office, in the next 3 years, you're going to be looking at a place where it may never be possible to catch up.
Under the Inflation Reduction Act of 2022, that tax credit at $7,500 was made available to consumers purchasing or leasing an EV. That credit ended at the end of September.
What they are missing are the policy incentives and mandates that encouraged people to buy EVs. You no longer have as strict environmental regulations in place.
Merrick Masters, a professor of business emeritus at Wayne State University, says it's going to be difficult for companies to invest in EVs without making changes to the employment levels. And the market, it remains behind.
You've got to capture international markets, and we're far behind the curve with China, which is investing heavily not only in Europe, but is going to invest heavily in South America and in Asia, and is much better equipped to do that.
Thanks to Courtney Bennett for that report. There's a possibility for more layoffs related to EV production come the new year. Both experts believe there is still a market for EVs and that the future is electric vehicles. Well, taking a look now ahead, the Message of Thanks Board will be hosting its 10th annual luncheon for veterans on November 11th. It will be held at the Fraternal Order of Eagles in Gaylord. A representative from the Veteran Affairs Office will be there to talk about what benefits are available to vets. This is done every year on Veterans Day to honor and thank those who have served.
It means a lot to me because I come from a family of members that have served themselves. I lost an uncle in World War II. Then also I have a son serving right now. So for me, it just means a lot. And it's a way for myself to personally say thank you and to do what I can for them.
Now, there's no limit on the number of attendees, but you are encouraged to register as soon as you can. We'll have more information on our website, UpNorthLive.com. And again, taking a look ahead this time to the weekend, in its 36th year, with more than 6,000 participants and 10,000 spectators, the Bell's Iceman Cometh Challenge is racing its way back to miles and miles of northern Michigan, with something new to look forward to every year. Matt Velez previews this year's event.
The newness is always the challenge of the Iceman Cometh and where everything gets placed come game day. So the course always has some different components put in every year, from Kalkaska back here to Traverse City at the beautiful Timber Ridge Resort. And also the celebration zone here, presented by Bissell, absolutely has changes always.
And with those changes comes more racers and more volunteers.
We have over 6,000 participants this year, and we're expecting to have over 10,000 spectators out here at Timber Ridge on Saturday for the big day. We have several hundred volunteers who've been out here for thousands of man hours over the last several weeks, from the Northern Michigan Mountain Biking Association and the amazing Tom White to lots of sports groups.
And Pay says that all work pays off in economic impact.
It is about a $6 million impact for those 2 days, both the Friday and the Saturday, because we've got riders that are coming in now and have been here for a few days, staying at the hotels, enjoying our local restaurants and culture while they're pre-riding and prepping for Saturday.
And speaking of prepping for Saturday, I was able to speak with Chris Mutonsky, who will be racing on Saturday, and asked him how he prepares for a race like this.
It's from riding your bike, from making sure the bike is ready to go mechanically. You take it into your bike shop, make sure brake pads are good, chain's good, because last thing you want to do is be out on the trail, you're setting a PR time, and all of a sudden your chain breaks, or you have a flat tire, or who knows what could go wrong. So it's from that to hydration to waking up at for me 4 a.m, hopping on the trainer to get a training ride in.
In his 4th year of doing the Iceman Cometh Challenge, there always comes a change of pace and expectations.
The best thing about doing Iceman is with so many people, there's always a low chance of podium, but it's always a race against yourself.
The celebration zone just at the end of the race when everyone is finished is what Chris looks forward to the most, and one of his reasons for finishing.
This is like the Super Bowl, for me, the end of the year party. It's why, we get up and do hard things and make sacrifices, is just for that one Saturday in November.
Matt Velez reporting.
Our thanks to Matt for that story. Now, a quick reminder, our question of the day today is, does your job allow you to work from home? During the break, if you're streaming with us online, you'll see a QR code, which you can scan and go vote. If not, you can vote on our Facebook page or our website, UpNorthLive.com. As always, we'll take a look at those results later on in the show. We're going to take that first break. When we get back, we'll talk with Chief Meteorologist Joe Charlevoix about the weather forecast coming up. Keep it here.
I'm Jada Johnson from Big Boys TV, and the Fish and Game Report is sponsored by Johnson's Propane.
Welcome back to Up North Live Unscripted. It's Wednesday, so we're halfway through the work week, or if you're watching from home right now, you might be more than halfway through yours. And outside, we've had plenty of variety with some rain and some sunshine as we bring in our chief meteorologist, Joe Charleboy. Joe, what can we expect tomorrow?
I just had to do the math. I think I'm exactly halfway through my week right now. So
oh yeah,
I think most folks
right
at home are
dot.
more than halfway.
Yeah,
but yeah. I was just taking a look. So
look at us.
We're getting there, right?
Yeah, we are.
Yeah. Tonight it's been quiet. We had a little rain earlier. There's still some rain showers out there right now. We have temperatures in the 40s. Mm-hmm. Maybe a little bit of that changing to a touch of snow tonight, but I don't think it'll be too big of a deal. Okay. Let's go to Drummond Island. You can see the ground there is wet. That's the ferry across the channel there, across the St. Mary's River is Detour Village. You can see there in the background where it is a little bit wet. Let's start off with the temperatures because what's falling right now is mainly rain, and that's why. 32, of course, being freezing. We're still well above that for pretty much the entire area. It's 50 at Ludington. That's the warm spot. And the cool location right now is at Newberry, where the temperature right now is at 39. Let's take a look at our satellite picture. So we had rain and radar. There it is. Crossed through this morning. We had that. It's been interesting. The last couple of days we've had that where we get the rain like Sunday night and Monday morning. Same thing last night and this morning. We're going to get the same thing Thursday night and a Friday morning. A little bit of rain crossing through. As far as the lake effect that's kicking in behind that, here it is. We'll kind of zoom in here. Coming in off. That's a pretty good band of rain there east of Marquette, extending toward Beaver Island. So that band extends all the way there and then into parts of the lower peninsula. These rain showers continuing from almost Houghton Lake up toward Gaylord. And then near Sault Ste. Marie, this is a little snow on the other side of the border there in Canada. And I think as temperatures continue to drop tonight, we'll see a little bit of snow gradually mixing in. So here's what that looks like on Stormcast, future radar. You can see a couple bands, especially there near Sault Ste. Marie. Of rain and snow. This is around midnight, 1, 2 o'clock later tonight. Snow showers. I wouldn't be surprised if we maybe squeeze out a half inch or an inch of snow up there in that one band perhaps, but it'll probably melt pretty quickly. Tomorrow morning, this comes to an end, and then a quiet afternoon. We'll see increasing clouds, but our Thursday afternoon and evening will be dry. And then here comes the next round of rain. That is tomorrow night, right there. But look at the clock. So this gets in here around midnight. We'll be sleeping for most of us, and by 7, 8 o'clock, it's done for the most part. So I think a lot of that will be during the overnight, late Thursday, very early Friday. That'll be rain too, not snow. It's just too warm. And then behind that, some showers kick in. It looks like later in the day on Friday. Want to go ahead to the weekend. You can see the Great Lakes region there, Traverse City, Chicago, penciled in. Look at the cold air that, right there kind of plops in here. Late Saturday night, Sunday into Monday. Not going to last too long. It'll retreat. And then we actually warm back up some the following weekend. So I don't think this is going to be a long-lasting event, but it is probably going to be cold enough for a little snow. So low pressure will pass south of the area. Look at here. This is Sunday. Look at the snow chance. And then Monday, maybe some lake effect snow, but it's going to be very dependent on the wind direction. So maybe closer to, with a straight north wind, it's usually right near the lakeshore, the areas that see a little more lake effect snow. So there's the weekend, 40s, mostly cloudy, 35, 40 rather on Saturday. Sunday, some snow showers at times. And we'll carry that over into Monday of next week. So
sounds good.
There you go.
Joe, you'll be happy to know I switched over to the snow tires.
Oh, good.
Yep.
Yeah.
So ready to go.
Perfect.
Yep, ready for the snow. Thank you, Joe. We're going to take another quick break. When we get back, we'll check in with Sports Director Harrison Beebe on what's on tap in sports. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Up North Live Unscripted. It's now time to get in the gym and talk about some volleyball. To do that, Sports Director Harrison Beebe breaks it down.
With the sports calendar now shifting to November, it is time to crown state champions in high school volleyball. And that journey begins with the district tournaments that are underway this week. A huge night lies ahead for district semifinals across all 4 divisions. And we know we've got Northern Michigan teams scattered across all 4 of those divisions, including Division I, where we'll have a doubleheader of coverage tonight. Traverse City Central won a regional title a year ago. The Trojans opening up this postseason at home with Alpena. And in the other half of that bracket, in Division I, Traverse City West playing up in Petoskey. The winners will meet up tomorrow night for the district title. That's not all for Division I volleyball going on tonight. We know we've got an interesting district taking place in Cadillac. The Vikings at home going up against Midland Dow. And if they win, they would advance to host the district final tomorrow as well. The Kingsley Stags having a great season in high school girls volleyball. They're ranked number 3 in Division III and could have a big meeting with number 1 ranked Roscommon in the regional. To do that, the Stags have got to get through their home district first, and that includes a meeting with Pine River going on right now in the semifinals. And if they win, they could see a tough Manton team in the finals, but it'd be on their home gym floor. So it'll be intriguing to see who comes out of that Division III matchup. We know we've seen Traverse City St. Francis make the Division III state finals the last 2 years. The Detroit Pistons back at home tonight, taking on the Utah Jazz. The Pistons at 5-2 on the year. Highlights of the volleyball and Detroit tonight during sports at 11.
A lot to look forward to there. Also, something to look forward to, the results for our question of the day. Today, it is, does your job allow you to work from home? There's plenty of time to make your voice heard. You can go to our Facebook page or our website, UpNorthLive.com, vote, and we'll take a look at the results when we get back.
Salon services are furnished by Epiphany Advanced Academy in East Acme.
Taking one last look at our question of the day, the insurance company Hagerty is evolving from the remote-first work-from-home model that was adopted during COVID-19 to a work-forward hybrid approach. About 500 one-team Hagerty members who live in the Grand Traverse region will work from the main Hagerty campus in downtown Traverse City 3 days a week. That got us wondering if your job allows you to work from home, and that was our question of the day. 36% of people said yes, 64% said no. And looking at some of your comments, Jason said, if it did, I wouldn't want to. And Brenda said, no, I really hate trying to be helped by someone working at home. I don't want to hear their kid crying or barking dog. Thanks for voting. Thanks for commenting. And as always, thanks for joining us for Unscripted. Have a great night.